You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.
Good morning, everyone. This is Gangadas, your host, and we are in Radio Mayapur studio. Today we have with us a wonderful devotee. His name is Bhagavatamrita Das. He's full of nectar. I know him from the very beginning of my spiritual life in Mayapur. We were in Sankirtan together for maybe 10 years. We had a lot of fun, a lot of story. We still have a lot of fun. The fun goes on because Krishna Consciousness means happiness. So, Bhagavatamrita Prabhu, I'm very happy that you are with us today. Please, Bhagavatamrita is 66 years old, married with a son, and he has two sisters in Brazil. His father was Italian, from near Florence. Everybody has some Italian connection for some reason, but his mother was from Germany, so she was very strict and trained him up nicely. And he took initiation from Srila Prabhupada in 1976. Now, Bhagavatamrita Prabhu, please, I'll let you speak, and I want you to say to all our listeners a little bit of how you came in contact with devotees, because, that's very, very important.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for inviting me here, Ganga.
It's a pleasure.
I compliment in the crew in here, fantastic people and fantastic studio. Congratulations, your new studio here.
Nityanandaram worked really hard to put it together. He's our main sponsor and main people. And he's in control of the mixer and the recording. And he's the heart of our Radio Mayapur, where we broadcast every day music, bhajan, kirtan, lecture, and whatnot.
Okay. Okay. So, the first time I came in contact with Krishna Consciousness, this was in the 70s, maybe 75, 74, maybe 74. I was traveling that time you do. So anyway, I travel. I went from Brazil, I went south, I went to Uruguay, I went to Argentina. I even took La Tren de la Muerte. It's a train that goes in the top of the Alpes. Alpes, no, what called whatever mountain range they have in there.
In South America.
Yeah, South America, yeah.
It's called the Andes.
The Andes, yeah.
It goes from Peru all the way down. It's quite long, actually. Yeah. More than 20,000 kilometers.
So I was in there, and I went all the way. I ended up in Venezuela. Wow. There's so many stories in there, in this Tren de la Muerte. It's amazing. So I met my sister in there.
In Caracas.
In Caracas. And she was, one point she was packing. And she want to go to Cúcuta by car, which is in the, I think, western side of Venezuela. Mm-hmm. West. And Caracas more or less in the middle. So they're going to go in a trip. And they have this car. And they want to put the stuff in there. They're going to go. I was going with them. She said, I have so many books. All kinds of books. So she was making one pile of the books that go with her and one pile of the books that stay. And she's going to leave there or give it away or something. And I was in the middle, putting books here, books there. And then she gave me one small book called Viagem Fácil a los Otros Planetas.
Oh, easy journey to other planets.
Easy journey to the other planets. Beautiful. With the beautiful yogi meditating in the sky blue in the back, all the chakras, this nebulous photo was so attractive. So I grasped that book and I said, this one I want for me. Of all the books in there, there was a lot. I said, this one I will take with me. I was traveling, wow. You don't get so much weight with you, but this little one, I take it. She said, okay. So later on, I read the book and I couldn't understand anything. But there is a but in there, because this is the movement of Lord Sri Chaitanya. one thing I read that is stuck in my mind. It says that if you want a spiritual life, you have to associate with those who also want spiritual life. And that made a lot of sense.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, it makes perfect sense. Why would you be with somebody else? If you want a spiritual life, why would you be with somebody else that's not interested in the spiritual life? If you stay with those that are interested, you accelerate your development. Makes perfect sense. So the trip went on. I carried the book. I went back to São Paulo. And then at one point, I was in this Avenida Paulista in São Paulo. It's like a big avenue, business buildings all over. Like, it's like a Wall Street, a little bit, like that. Mm-hmm. So the devotee was there in the calçada, the pathway, people walking the side of the road. It was Pionigi. I mean, it was a Colombian devotee. So he was there, you see, he was working hard, his daughter was a little with the suit of São Paulo, I could see. And then I went to him and I said, hey, I want to get some incense because, they sell incense. He said, oh, I have books. I got the book already. So he gave me an invitation to visit the temple. And that was a beautiful Radha Krishna. It's not a painting, it was a drawing, black and white, nice. Classic, and Krishna and Radha in there. It's a beautiful, very delicate design. It's a very classic in ISKCON. I don't see anymore, but, it was there at that time. So he said there is a free feast.
Free feast.
Yeah. The magic word. The magic mantra. The free feast. You're going to like it, blah, blah, blah. We talk about yoga. Free feast sounds good, Like we say in Brazil, free, atenção na testa. Free is okay. Even if you take a syringe in your skull, that's good. It's free, right? So anyway, I went there, next Sunday feast. So I walk in there, and I don't know what to wait. I don't know what to expect, actually. And I walk. The temple was very silent, and then, as you expect, some spiritual atmosphere. So, I walk in, and I didn't know. All the devotees were kind of meeting somewhere, and for some reason, because it was Sunday feast, they organized things. But anyway, suddenly there was this conjugal blow, and devotees start coming from all over the place. From this door, that door, from the window, and I mean, speaking, but they came from all over the place, talking loud and doing all kinds of things. And then, wow, this is quite amazing. So there was this conch in there, and everybody's there, looking for this curtain, and the concho blow, it was a kind of astounding because it's the first time you hear the sound of a conch shell, in first time in the puja scenario. So I was startled, and then they opened the curtain, and I look, and there was this big picture of Panchatattva. They worshiped the picture at that time. And I look, and everybody went down the floor. You see, I look, Panchatattva, I look, everybody on the floor. And then I was astounded what to do. And then the president starts singing, Namo Vishnu Padaya. Another, startling revelation. And then everybody sing after him. There was, 1, 2, 3, the series of punches, like, wow. So then they start singing, and then the kirtan start going, and they're doing the thing with this lamparina, this, what do you call this, ghee lamp. And, after the incense, all this good stuff. And then everybody start dancing, and the kirtan becomes very, very excited. And the president, he's beating the drum in there and everybody's jumping up and down. He comes to me, he looks to me like in the eye, like, come on,
Come on, doing dancing.
And I said, I'm going to show this guy. I'm going to show this guy what dance is all about, I am the danzarino, right? So I went there, and started spreading my legs, arms, the Karmi dance. Tried to imitate the devotees, like was a funny one. So they all got excited, It was a good time. And then later on, we went for the feast. It was focused on the mission. We got the mission. So there was the prasadam, which was amazing prasadam. I remember the halava was very delicious. It's a new taste, of course.
Yes.
And then I was eating by myself because I'm Italian. So my father said, "Quando mangia e non si parla."
Yeah, when you eat, you don't talk.
Yes, we eat quiet, and you could hear the spoons, hitting the plate, and you could very quietly, and not too much talk. So I was eating quiet, and this devotee, he sits in front of me and start talking. And I feel disturbed. I was talking, I'm eating here, and blah, 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 this, that. And this Vishnu personality that has 4 arms. My hand halfway through the mouth stopped. I look at me and say, "How do you know he has 4 arms?" He said, "Well, we have the words of the great sages and we have the scriptures. They confirm that." I said, "Okay." And I keep eating. How can I argue with that? Okay, I'm not going to argue with you with the halava, waiting there for me. I accept. So that was my experience, in that particular situation. See the devotees. So I was, it was a nice experience. So I went home, and so next Sunday I went there, and I went back for more. I went back for more.
More prasadam?
You become a little addicted in there. So then I went there, and then the president, he showed me a picture. He called me after the program and showed me a picture of a bus. It's like the Radha Damodar bus, that type of bus, And then he said, "You see, we're going to buy a bus and we're going to travel all over Brazil. You want to stay? You can stay here, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Okay." Yeah, easy. I'm in what you call in the business of selling a lay down. Lay down are those that they don't resist. They buy, how much they buy, no hassle, no have to work so hard. So I said, okay. So I stay overnight, and the devotees took me upstairs. This is the place. He gave me a place to sleep. I was traveling, hijacking around, so it was not very hard to sleep in the floor, all these things, right? The only thing is that there's something around like 3 o'clock, 3:30. Somebody came and just, "Prabhu, let's go." Let's go where? It's at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, whatever it is. Where are you going now? It's dark. Go back to sleep. What are you doing here? "No, Prabhu, we have to get ready, take shower, get ready. There's something called Mongol Arctic. And I tried to fight a little bit, escape. No escaping, man. No. You have to go. This is good, blah, blah, blah. And no, I'm a sucker for Krishna. So, okay, I got all set up. Mongol Arctic, no problemo. And after the Mongol Arctic, the devotees is going around, It's like the day is just about coming, and everybody's doing, mumbling, this and that. So I think the president said, "Go to this Mataji and get here some beads, this is good for chanting." What is chanting? You have to, this is like a prayer, the prayer is good. I'm Italian, so yeah, prayer is good. So Mataji gave me this
Rosario.
And then she said, "Look, it's very simple. You put in your finger, and then you chant this prayer, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Wow.
How can I, remember all this? You gave me a book, or in the back of the book was
Card.
the mantra in there or something. You keep chanting, don't worry. And you go like this,
When you reach
108, and you know, that's how you chant. Okay. So I went there, I found a place. I chanting, I forget, I look at the card or the book, and I keep chanting. After so many, oh my God, finally the last bid, I chanted 108. And I go so happy to the Mataji, and look, I finished. She said, very good. Now you turn around the beads, you chant more. What more? You have to chant 16 times.
oh,
I was so furious, you dumped me again, you just, but I kept chanting, I just kept doing. And that was the fun. You get used to it. And that's how it happened. That's how it happened.
tell us a little bit about your background when you were a kid and with your sister and your father. You were living in Sao Paulo. You went to school and tell us a little bit background, like what you were. Ordinary kids, you were harassed by somebody, and you were the one who harassed other people. What's the story? What school you went? What did you do?
I went to this school. We used to live in Sao Paulo, in the urban area. So my father moved to a satellite town called Santo André. Santo André is a saint.
Yeah, Santo André.
Yeah. So there was a different town at that time. Now it's just Santo André. It's just like a big, it's like I don't know, Bampukur, in Mayapur, so they all merging together. Yeah. So we living there for a while in Santo André, and I went to some schools in there. But then, because how that happened? Okay, my mother put me into the Arquidiocesano. That's a school in Sao Paulo. Since we live in Santo André, so I was interno, means I live inside of the school.
Which is a priest school.
It's a priest school, Jesuit.
Jesuit, yes.
Yes, and they're very imponent. There's a big walls and big construction, very European looking of buildings in there and everything. There is one thing interesting, because I studied there maybe 3-4 years. And later on, as a devotee, I went there to visit. And I know, as a kid, I see these big doorways and buildings. And when I went there, there's a small door.
They're normal.
Everything is small.
You were small at the time.
What happened to the building? Se encolheu todo. So that was an interesting experience. But it's still, the building looks very imponent, very, very majestic. It made with this German granite or German cement or something. It's not just a normal construction there. So,
were the people nice? The priests, they were good, and
okay, they were nice. I don't remember anything special, but I stayed there interno. There was 4 divisions: minor, semi-minor, jovem, and more
young and youth.
And then the majors, whatever they call them. The 4 division there. I was in the minor. And I was
How
good.
old you were?
I don't know. I think it was maybe 12, 13.
You felt bad that your father and mother put you there? Was it like a punishment for you, or was not just...
I just don't think anything.
No, I'm just asking.
Well, I would miss my family, but at the same time, I look behind, it was like a brahmachari training.
Yes.
It was a good training. Okay. You away from your family, you don't get too, como se diz, babado, that, mommy here, mommy there, all these things.
Mama boy. Don't become mama boy.
You become more,
like
resourceful, and like that. Even though I was in the minors, a bunch of kids in there. So I remember that. So I was good in sports, in the saloon, how do you call it? Futsal. They call futsal. They have futsal in there. I was good in futsal.
What is futsal? Is it like football?
It's a smaller
ball.
It's a not so much bouncing ball. Okay, it's a small, and
they play with the foot.
The foot.
They should not touch the floor.
No. It's a small area for the quadra. How do you call that? The camp.
Yeah.
It's a small area, with a small goal. And 5 people each side.
Oh, yeah. Calcetto, they call it.
Calcetto.
Yeah.
So, it's...
Small football.
Yeah. And they go very fast, because it's a small thing, the thing's going fast. I was good in that thing. And there's another thing I was good. I don't see around very much. They have this like a huge, it's not a stick, it's like a piece of wood, like a tree, very large, round. And then on the top, you have this rope with the ball. But the ball is the one like you do in soccer ball. Now you keep punching. It's a little oval type of ball made of leather. So you're supposed to wrap the thing around. And then if you do that, you win. And the La Quadra is in 4, there's 4 divisions. 2 can play or 4 people can play.
Oh, okay.
You see? So it's 2 people, it's a game. And I was good in that thing too.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember a champion. Hope they have one there, that is in Goloka Vrindavan or something.
Maybe.
I will challenge whatever is there. So then that was, the Archdiocesano. So I finished in there. Then somehow I went to some other schools, which is more liberal. And then at one point, I decided what happened, I was doing this school, it's called Objetivo. It was a very prepping you for the high school. In Brazil, these things are so much. And it was a school, there's so many people in there, and class were like 50, 60 people, all, in little rooms. Some of my class didn't have any windows.
Wow.
They have TV, though. Sometimes they give class by the TV, and then 3 or 4 classes, the same teacher there teaching, Anyway, I didn't like very much. So that's when I dropped and I went to travel. Then I met the books, then I met the devotees. Then what happened was, at one point, as I became a devotee, we went out in Sankirtan, which is so many stories in there.
Yeah, of course.
Right? 3 days I was in the temple. I was living like in paradise. That was so good. Prasad and stay back, the devotees going Sankirtan. I was, a little service here, a little there. Oh, cut that flowers in here, go a little painting here. Devotees come and drop a simply wonderful in your mouth. It's like, I'm going to stay here. Why should I go anywhere else? And I remember one time there was this Guru Puja, and in the temple room, in this place, in the temple, they have this big window, and you could see far away into the city down, like we're in the top of some hill or something. So let me think. So we have this Prabhupada's Guru Puja, and at the end, Jaya Prabhupada, and everybody dancing, and the girls with this flowing saris, colorful, and the boys, the devotees, and jumping, and then they throw petals, and I was like, oh my God, this is heaven. I want to stick around here. The perfume of the incense, all these things was wonderful. Then one day, I feel a little weight in my shoulder.
Bag.
So what is this? This is a bag. Yeah, what's inside? The books. Wow, what are you going to do with the books? You're going to distribute these books. Gotta go in the car, gotta go in the street, you're going to go do the work. No, the free ride is finished. Hare Krishna. So I went. My first time, you'll be something to remember. So, what do you do? What is this Sankirtan thing? No, we sell books, it is, and they try to explain. But nothing can prepare you for a fresh personality like this. I was middle class. I was, have a sheltered life. And, I work a little bit in some situation, but not exposed in the selling anything to this, hassling actually, So they stopped in one of the most busy area of São Paulo, pure market, hardcore nose drivers, going around and, business here, business there, and people going up and down. He said, they gave the book and they said, look, you show the book and you say, a few lines, they tell me a few lines I have to say, this is yoga, this is good for you, whatever it is, and you get some money from them. I have no idea. So I went there and people passing, and maybe I go that one. No, maybe I go to the other one. No, that one looks very mean. No, the other one, this guy looks easy, and the one that must be a student, it'll be easy on me, So you're all mental about these things, you're not really flowing with the flow. And the other, I have one about me, it's like just going one. He's just going like a machine, And I was struggling. And I showed the book. I practically hide behind the book, I feel so, how do you call it? Envergonhado. How do you say that?
Uncomfortable?
Ashamed. I feel like, I feel shamed. Look, I'm here. I'm selling this thing. I feel uncomfortable. Yes, also. But there's nothing to be uncomfortable about. You're doing, it's a nice thing. So I persevere. That is one of the qualities that get you through. You persevere. You stick around even with the pain. There is other instances, and I can tell you, I persevere with the pain. I have some incredible realizations. That's another story for later. But this one, I persevere. Just keep doing. You go to the next, and you get rejection. And then one guy, I'll buy it. You put the hands in the pocket and give the money. And I got this money like a trophy, Oh, look, I got it. Look, I got some money. Look, I sold a book. I sold a book. This is a Gloria. And the other guy with me, so what? I'm already in the 50 books distributed. Go, keep it going, It's completely took away my enthusiasm, but no problem. We just keep going. So that is the experience going on in Sankirtan. So I don't know how much time we have in here, but
we have 1 hour. So we did 28 minutes. We have more time.
Okay.
You can tell some story if you like.
I tell
interesting story.
Yeah. I tell a few stories because I can see now there's always a story related to Krishna. When I came you see, how I came to India is because in the morning time, the japa time, the president said, look, this was around November, December, or this time. President come and told me, the devotees are going to India. If you want to come, you can pay your ticket, you can come too. Because at that time here in Mayapur, only the top dog, I mean very respectfully, that only the top Sankirtan people will come in here, the top distributors. Yes. And so they can collect with the books the ticket money and they come in here. So the temple wouldn't pay me the ticket because I was basically new. I did some work. And so many people did work too. Then they're not going. But the top people, they're going. But if you can pay, you can come. So I went to my parents. And I will forever be grateful to my parents. The big papa.
One
mama.
second. Were they happy that you become Hare Krishna devotee?
Okay. When my father, first I show up in my house, all shaved up, dolly, brahmachari collar. My mother opened the door and she go, toing.
Who is this guy?
She took like few seconds to process the image. Really long seconds. And she was, through her mind, all kinds of things are going on. She tried to adjust, process, and not say something that is offensive or not saying anything because something's happening here. So it was like, processing the thing. It took a while. But then she just, said, well, let's come in, let's talk about blah, blah, blah. And then I talked to her about my new faith, devotees, blah, blah, blah. And my parents is very amazing. My mother used to have books of yoga, remember, we had a library at home.
Yes.
So she has books of this yoga, Ramacharaka. So the photos, black and white photos of him, he swallowing a cloth to clean the stomach and then putting the cloth out, and they're doing all these abdominals, pushing back in and out. All these photos, and all this, not even Mayavadi, it's just pure yoga, technical and stuff, right? So I also had one of those books, Would You Travel With Me, which I discarded because this is, I don't get nothing from this thing. Anyway, that's another story. So my mom, I came to my parents and I told them they're going to India, and always was a desire to go to India.
Yeah.
I remember I was like 15 years old. I went to Santos. That is a city next to where we go for our vacation home. Yeah. It was in São Vicente. We had an apartment there. So in Santos, there's a port, international port, very big. So I went there. I went to a ship and said, take me to India, to the captain.
To the captain you went?
Yeah. What's called, at that time, you can go in and out. No. Not that difficult. So he said, no, I cannot do this. This is illegal thing, I got in trouble. But, valeu, né, a tentativa. I tried. So I know so much I want to go to India, visit in India. I had this in my heart.
You had some attraction.
Yes.
Felt
all
like
the time.
Magnetic call.
True. So the president said, if you want the ticket, then you can come. So I asked my parents. So okay, we send your sister to study, somewhere in Europe, and now we should give you this facility. And my father said something, very interesting. I said, you have long hair, we dress like, in the 60s, in the 70s,
Hippies.
right? Long hair, looking weird, doing weird things, and come, 2:00 in the morning. And it's weird, right? So my father said, you see, you became a devotee. Now I know where you are, what you're doing, and how can I find you? And this is a very good thing, because before you know what you're doing, where were you and what's going on. See, so he actually understood this is a good thing, even though it's a complete different cultural, but situation from his background. He understood that. And Italians, they have the system that the family will give one son for the church.
Yes, always.
See, so. It's a normal thing. Somebody surrender to the work for God. It's not like too far out.
It's a glorious thing.
It's a glorious thing.
Which can help the whole family, actually.
Yeah. So he gladly said, "Okay, we'll do it. We get you to India," and they did. They paid my ticket. My mother helped me with getting the documentation. At that time, to get out of Brazil was like some political difficulty in so many ways, but we got through. That was
a visa and passport.
Passport, all this thing. And I had a visa actually from America to go to America, because the flight to go to New York. In New York, everybody comes and they go to India in a famous jumbo jet. That came to Calcutta, the first.
Wow.
That came to Calcutta, there was like a big news at that
was
time.
Pan Am airline, American airline?
I can't remember. I can't remember, but I remember this. We have 80% of the devotees in that plane.
Wow.
We brought in food, in big containers, stainless steel, round, big containers, halava, sabji, rice. We gave prasadam. We have a kirtan, and the plane will start rocking, And the captain said, hey, cool down, man, cool down. Yeah. You're rocking the plane, He's driving the plane like a goat in the mountain, It's like, I tell you, weight is so important in airplanes. Absolutely. When you book a ticket, the computer space you out. So, there's not so many people in one side than the other side. So anyway, so we did it. So I came to India, and there was like the gloria of my life.
You land in Delhi or Bombay?
I think it was Calcutta. I remember Calcutta.
Okay,
Calcutta, and I remember they stretched the runway so it could accommodate the new jets they're supposed to get in there.
Big one.
Yeah.
Jumbo jet.
Yeah. From there, the airport, we got the buses and went straight to Mayapur.
Wow. What was your first impression when you came out of the airport? You remember Calcutta, the people, the rickshaw? I don't know.
Well, I didn't see anything because we went to the bus, we talked to the road, and we're in Mayapur. Mayapur is a bubble, right? Then we went back to Calcutta, we took a plane and went to Delhi, and another bus, we went to Vrindavan, right? Another story in there. So in Vrindavan, I got to go to stay in India. I got to stay because I just going to tell the story, how I got to stay in India. I always want.
Yeah, you're supposed to go back. Yeah. You had a ticket to go back and everything. So how you managed to stay in India?
Yeah. I tried to call Brazil because the president left. The president left before the festival. Something happened.
In Brazil?
In here, Mayapur.
In Mayapur.
He left. So I couldn't talk to him.
President? Oh, your president?
Yes,
the one
of the Brazilian Yatra that time. Okay. So he left for some reason. And so they told me, you want to stay in India, the president has to authorize. So I tried to call. And there was an interchange right here in the front, front gate. There was a exchange right there. A tiny little house, I don't know, the guy do that all day long. If you're here, you remember that little tiny house. I'm sitting there waiting. You make a call. The call goes from Mayapur to Swarupganj go to Calcutta go to Delhi, Delhi goes to New York goes to Brasilia, São Paulo. By the time, Venus, Uranus, Saturn, everything lined up, all the planetary system. You're sitting there, getting old.
I remember.
It's so hard. So I couldn't talk to him, so I ended up going to Vrindavan. At that time, then Hridayananda one day in Vrindavan, he comes around and said, Prabhupada said going to initiate it. We're going to get some names. So he started getting the names of the devotees of Brazil that came in there. And then when he came to me, another devotee came in. And he said, no, Maharaj, not this one. He's too puffed up. He just
he said that.
He said just like that. He's too puffed up. I never forgot. Maybe it was right. I don't know. But, well, I'm here, right? So, and I was so disappointed. But Maharaj said, no, at that time, they already figured out, he's going to stay in India. He should get initiated. So I got in. And then, you have the beautiful ceremony. And then I got the initiation.
In Mayapur?
In Vrindavan. First one in Vrindavan, second in Mayapur. But, This
was 1976.
1976,
yes,
yeah.
Correct.
But how did I have to come to stay? Because, I tell you, it's so amazing. I come in Vrindavan and, my little English and Portuguese and whatever there was, translation, everything. A sannyasi was giving class, said, Prabhupada said, all the trees in Vrindavan are Kalpataru trees. All the trees in the Holy Dham, actually.
Yes. The desired tree. They're the wish-fulfilling tree.
Wish-fulfilling tree. So, I very innocent. I immediately accept that. So, this is it. I have a desire, right? I want to stay in India. So, I find a tree. I cut a deal with the tree. I stay here.
You spoke to the tree? You tell your prayer?
That was my idea. Okay, hold on. Don't get ahead of the story here. So I said, well, what tree? What tree are going to get it? There's so many, right? So I went to the parikrama path in the morning, japa time. I was going around looking. Then I saw this beautiful tree. It was like love at first sight. This is the tree that Krishna jumped to chastise Kaliya. With the Samadhi of Prabodhananda Sarasvati next to it. It's a beautiful tree.
It's a Tamil tree.
It's a Tamil.
think
I still have the
Tamal,
leaf
Tamal.
from that tree.
Tamal tree.
I have a leaf from the tree. I carry with me. I have photo of that tree. That is, So I went, said, you are it. I have a desire. I know you are fulfilling the desire of the devotees. This is sincere. I convinced the tree that my desire was pure, that it was not motivated. I just want to stay here, something about doing service, this and that, and I on and on. I think the tree got snow, so I cannot take this guy anymore. Okay. And then I left. So I went back. I was late for breakfast, so I was eating at the tail end of the breakfast in what was that place? We didn't have the temple yet. We Pagal Ashram, I think. That's
Pagal Ashram.
Pagal Ashram, yeah. We have the tents in there, and the devotees are taking prasad in there, and some were staying there or something. So I was in the tail end of the breakfast with me and a few sparse devotees in there, and the devotees came looking for me. He said, my name was, I don't know, was not Bhagi yet, but whatever they call me, and they said, hey, you're a lucky man. You're going to stay in India.
Whoa.
Just like that. So what happened was the Mayapur, it's like, I would say in a very nice way, I don't mean anything bad, but it's like a meat market in there. Devotees come, and the top devotees of the movement, they come in there. So everybody tried to convince everybody else to come to their yatra. Right? You come from your top distributor, come to Cincinnati, come to LA, come to San Diego, come to Mexico, whatever. I give you this, I give you that. It was like a market in there, So, and everybody taking devotees. And guess where they get most of the devotees from? From Mayapur, because all these devotees hanging there so hard. Mosquitoes, they get sick, They want some piece of America also, So they go back to America, and they go for the preaching and the good halava and the good prasad and everything, right? So what happened is there was no devotees left in Mayapur. So they went to Prabhupada and complained. Prabhupada, we need men. There's no man for Mayapur. I think it was either Bhavanand or Japtak or both. All the men left. Prabhupada said, what happened? All the men left. So Prabhupada said, motion, because it was like all the devotees were around, whatever. He said, let's just go get some men. He said, well, the GBC won't allow. They want the man from the south. So then they talk, and it was agreed that each GBC will give you one man. And guess who the Brazilian actor gave? The schmuck buggy, the new devotee. He pays his own ticket. He maybe going to bloop when he go back, we keep all the good men for ourselves. So I was the one designated to stay. Plus, I want to stay like anything. So I got in. So I remember that when the festival was over, everybody went back. We took a train of 9 devotees, I think. I took a train back to Mayapur.
From
Vrindavan.
Delhi.
And now I have the first impression of India. When I arrived in Howard Station, and there was blackouts?
Yeah, there was no electricity.
That's a name they say, load shedding. It was a load shedding,
yes,
whatever it is. And right there, we crossing the bridge, we're going to the market. Was that the Bora Bazaar market? No, not the Bora Bazaar. There was
the flower market underneath.
No, that was the market where you take that juice, the juice wall, they're really good. That's anyway, he does some nice
Bora Bazaar, yeah. Mahatma Gandhi Road.
Yeah.
Mahatma Gandhi Road, the tram is going.
No, Bora Bazaar is near the temple. The one is the Mawari.
Bora Bazaar is Mawari.
Okay, so that one, Bora Bazaar. What happened is they were building the new flyover Bora Bazaar. Now the flyover is there. You can see it cuts through the whole bazaar. In within minutes you are going to the other side of town. But at that time it was such a confusion, And then in the load shedding, they have all dark with the little lights, because people selling peanuts, and they have these little kerosene lights, lamps, here and there.
So it was in the night when you reached?
The night, and blocks of cement in this side, dust everywhere. And my first impression was that, oh my God, they bombed this place.
Yeah, it looked like a war or something. Yeah.
And there was the Bangladesh war was just a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I said, definitely they bombed this place. This is like leftover from the war or something. Unbelievable. It was airy, mystical, feeling in the thing, and we're just passing real quick, and said, let's go. So that was my first impression, in the land of Bharat Varsa, when I actually meet the reality, of the in the life.
But then you reach Mayapur, and
then
Mayapur, there was not so many people at that time.
There was nobody.
Maybe 20, 30 people.
I don't think even that.
And there was only the main gate, and the long building was not finished, almost finished. They were working on it.
I cannot. I don't
the Lotus
think.
Building was
When
there.
I came in, it was not finished. There was no long building.
The Lotus Building was there, and the Didi or Radha Madhava were there.
Yeah, they just
Only
finished.
Radha Madhava.
They just finished the Lotus Building.
Yeah.
And there was the long wall, the boundary wall.
Boundary wall.
That's where I was with
The
Madhu
hand pump.
Sevita.
Hand pump.
I saved the life of Madhu Sevita. I went. He was my roommate,
Right.
and we have two beds.
He was brahmachari.
He was brahmachari. Now it's ABC, XYZ. He's everything now. But that time he was just like brahmachari. I think temple commander in there or something.
Yeah.
So he was my roommate. We really got along really good. I love that man, good man. So I entered the room, and in the airy light, the faint light what they have in there and everything, I see on top of his mosquito net was a scorpion, and has this tail ready to strike.
Hook.
Yes, because they go where the skin meets with the net. Through the net they can bite you.
Yes.
So I immediately, Prabhu, don't move. And I, with a swap of my hand, I throw the sucker away, and then we took care of that scorpion. And that's the only time I saw a scorpion in Mayapur. I don't remember seeing anymore. Krishna, please, I hope I don't see it for a long time. I saw some snakes, but not scorpion, which is quite amazing. And, he
still remember.
He tells, Bhaggi saved my life. Nice things like that. No problem.
Okay, I want to ask you another question.
Yeah.
That what was your impression when you actually first time you saw Srila Prabhupada? That was in Vrindavan, right?
No. I was in Mayapur first,
Okay.
remember? So we came from Calcutta.
Okay.
Then we got all set up. We took shower, everything, shaving. We tip-top shape. So Ananda said, we're going to go now see Srila Prabhupada, because Prabhupada want to see the Brazilian devotees. And there were some Argentinians in there, but no, they don't count so much.
South American.
Yeah. I'm just joking for the Argentinians. We have a thing, They play bad soccer. What can I do,
So then, what was your impression when you went to the room? Was Prabhupada in his room in the Lotus Building?
Yeah, so we came in there. We all excited. Maharaj brought us in. So Maharaj comes in the room and he said, Srila Prabhupada, here are the Brazilian devotees. So Prabhupada was sitting.
How many of you?
There will be about 6, maybe 7. So we have all this beautiful, clean-shaved, brahmachari cloth and everything. We didn't enter the room. We just stick our heads through the frame of the door, right? So if you look from Srila Prabhupada, you see a bunch of heads sticking out through the frame. No bodies, just the head. No, you make they start to see Prabhupada without not to take the vision from anybody else, right? So Prabhupada looked at us. He turned the face. He see us. He was a little bit serious, like he is, whatever he was discussing there. And then he opened up in a big smile. It's like the sunshine came after the storm. It was a beautiful smile. That's like the smile that says, welcome, we love you, thank you for coming. We feel so much, appreciated. But many years, I thought about that. So that smile, it means a little bit more than that, because Prabhupada saw these are at that time, I couldn't make a phone call to Brazil. Brazil was the end of the world. We have this thing for the medieval times, right? The ship is going off the earth. Well, before that, it's Brazil there, It's the end of the world. Nobody goes to Brazil, it's like that. So, and Prabhupada saw these people from Brazil, from the end of the world, they are chanting the holy name. They are propagating the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Prabhupada was so happy about that. That's what I understood by that smile.
Beautiful. But did you have also any interaction with Srila Prabhupada some other time, maybe if you remember, and Prabhupada spoke to you and tell you something, which could be something?
I remember one time, because Prabhupada was there sometimes before the devotees come to the festival. So Gagamuni was there in the room. So I came in, and some other devotee was there. I can't remember what. And Gagamuni, he said, Prabhupada, this is our Bhagavatamrita. This is our best book distributor. I'm sorry, that's what he said, And he's, and Prabhupada, he looked at me, and he was very happy about it, right? And he said, do you speak Bengali? I said, no, Sri Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada has like a quiz look on his face. He was thinking, how he's distributing. He's the best distributor to speak Bengali, There was so much fun, I tell you. So much fun. Okay.
You like to tell us one story, a couple of stories from the Sankirtan in India. We traveled many years together in South India with Bhaktivedanta and all the group from Mayapur. So tell us some beautiful story that you remember because we are in December. This is the book marathon time. So I'm sure that our listener would like to hear some wonderful story of the book distribution we encounter in traveling in India.
Well, there's many stories, and right now, once you try to get the story out, you just kind of the overload files, system. I remember we took the boat because we did the boat program, Nitai Pada Kamala.
With small Gornitai.
With small Gornitai. Yeah. Oh, that boat, there's so many stories in that, know. So we took that boat all the way to, what is the name of the, where the sails got burned and everything. What was that name?
Oh, Diamond Harbor?
No, Diamond Harbor is halfway.
Down. Further down is that the sages every year they have
the festival.
Yatra. Yeah, the festival is called
amazing.
I will come to my mind.
Yeah. So anyway, in this place every year they have a big festival, a big mall in there. And still today we go there.
Sundarban. It's in
Sundarbans, yeah.
The island, but there is a particular name.
There's a name in there. This is where the sages, they were burned by a sage. The sons of a great Maharaj, they were burned because of some offense or a perceived offense or whatever, So the ashes were there, and that's why the Ganga has to flow until there to purify their, ashes existence. So in this place, we had the boat. You see, we had this boat, the Nitai Pada. So we parked in there. Baba Bodhi was the chief, captain of the boat. And we bought lots of books, crates and crates of books, and we distribute. Sargamela.
Yeah, Ganga Sagar.
Ganga Sagar. Yeah, say your name. How can you
Bar, Ganga Sagar. So in your life, you must go one time in Ganga Sagar.
Yeah, Ganga Sagar is an amazing
cold
festival.
In the winter time it comes.
Yeah. So we did amazing distribution of books in there. I still remember, there was a pathway full of sadhus. Those kinds of sadhus,
Indians.
There was one that was like he was in the the thorns. There is a plant in here. They have these big thorns. And very careful. They make walls in here so the cows won't go inside and eat their vegetables or something. So this plant, they have these thorns, and the sadhu is sitting there. Hariram,
on top of the
thorns. Yes. And there's another one. Then you go to the next one and the next, and each one has a specialty. And this one he's completely buried, and only his hand is sticking out with a japa beads, and he's chanting the
buried
japa.
Inside the sand.
He's inside the earth, whatever. He's
and
buried.
Only his hand is coming out of the earth.
No, the hand's coming out. There's a japa in there, and there's a plate. People putting coin there, and that's his helper is there watching. That nobody is not doing anything funny. That's impressive, that's impressive. And then there is another, was the elite of the sadhus. They have these people, they just, sit in the side of the road, but these ones, they have little huts that they are the top sadhus. There's one, he tried to to recruit me to go to some holy place in the Himalayas or something. He wants me really bad. A little Sahib, you love it.
White skin.
Yeah, white skin and everything. He had like one leg, he's standing one leg like Hiranyakashipu.
Yeah.
So he has this thing coming from the roof and he's putting one elbow in there and the other leg up and in one leg. So
I met
then
the same guy in Himachal Pradesh.
Maybe. No,
it's the same guy, he had a piece of wood and a rope catching on the tree like this, he's sleeping in the night with one leg.
Yeah. So only thing is that, at one point he looked around, he looked the other side, then he walk to the front. Hey, you have a bidi? Okay, he got a bidi from the guy. He went back there, he's in one leg again, So that was like, his mystic power or something, But the top one was the King Cobra.
Cobra.
Oh, the King Cobra. They have the super hot, I would say, even have air conditioning and everything. No, it doesn't have, but he was top of the line. This hut was like a super hut, and he was the King Cobra, the big babu sitting, waiting for audience, and the trembling, you're going to see the King Cobra. So I was like, what's going on in there? So one time I was talking to the one-leg guy, right? So I see the King Cobra now, he's coming out, and he's huffing and puffing, and in front there is like some fire thing, and he goes there, put the hand in there and smear himself all ashes, all the smoke going around. He's putting ashes all over his body, and he goes back, into the thing. I don't know, maybe his reading was like, stuff reading in there with some, whatever it is, political babu in there or something, So those are the days. We just humble brahmacharis, we just, handing out the books. It was fun.
Okay, Bhagi, you would like to invite all the listeners to come to Mayapur. So you are the best person to invite them. Of course, we can go here for many hours, but we almost established our...
We're in that time frame. I understand.
We're in the time frame.
I miss you all. You're listening to this. And it is amazing because we senior devotees, we don't know the power we have to say certain things and how the people take them and they take into the heart and they take deep into the heart for a long time. Because today itself, I was Prabhupada Puj, and then I'm going around. This Bengali boy approached me and said, Prabhu, I remember you. You gave a lecture so many years, and you said, ek boy, ek taka, in the Sankirtan story and everything, in the beginning was one guitar gun, ek taka, 1 rupee. And he never forgot. You see, so it's like, so if you got something in your heart on this, you come to Mayapur, because in the game of life, when you end up in Mayapur, you are the winner. At least you come here, you get in the heart Mayapur, and you take it, whatever you are, and you make that your Mayapur, extension.
Yeah. That's nice.
You take with you. Mayapur is very powerful. It's extremely powerful. So you come in here, you take the mercy. And if you can stay, great. If you not, you go back and plan to come back here and stay, and build a life in a way that you have a place in here, not only for you, your family, for generations to come after you. You see, that they can take shelter in this holy dome. Okay?
How's your vision about the new temple opening in another couple of years? So we have a lot of work to do. And There's a lot of services which people can render from all over the world. But how do you see yourself in 10 years, let's say, from now?
Mayapur will be the new Tirupati.
Correct.
Not in terms of holiness, anything. I'm not disputing anything from Tirupati, from Mayapur, but in terms of crowd. People will come here in a volume that we never thought possible. India has 1.5 billion people. You divide that by 365 for 10 years, you can have, so many people coming every day. You won't believe it. Without talking about the second comers or the third comers. And they're people from around the world.
It's true.
And they will come here. You see, I went in Cambodia. They have this temple in there in Cambodia. Angkor Wat.
We went together.
Yes.
Angkor Wat.
And I went to Angkor Wat, and I tried to get something from this. It used to be a Vishnu temple, Angkor Wat. And then there was change. They put Buddhism, and there's thing going on back and forth. Originally, it was a Vishnu temple.
Yes.
And I was there trying to get something from this temple. And, it's very little you can get, unfortunately. Besides to see the stones, there's nothing much history, nothing much written. Exactly. But here, you see this TOVP is a live monument. Yes. It gonna talk to you in amazing ways. And we finished the chandelier. You're gonna have like how do you call that? The idea of the universe,
the
cosmos, and his alternative understanding of how this universe is situated according to the Vedic principles, and it's refreshing. It makes a lot of sense, despite some theory that is like all came out for some explosion. I don't know who detonated that bomb, who pushed the first button, whatever. You see, it makes a lot of sense, and utterly gonna destroy the idea of this materialistic. So the idea of the world was created by a materialistic means. You see, and that is the beauty of this temple. Plus, devotees there chanting, and it's a beautiful architecture too. It's just pleasing just to see the temple. It speaks to you in so many ways.
Nice. So we have a lot of work to do. We like to invite everybody to come and
participate. Please. We come, come to me, Ganga, the big, we're here to serve the devotees. My service in Mayapur is to facilitate people that wanted to stay here somehow, to facilitate their stay in so many ways, by giving the association, by giving the counseling, even to tell them where the pipe man, the electric man is, how can make their life better in so many different ways. So thank you for this opportunity to speak. We have a good time.
Thank you so much, Bhagi. And I'm sure that when people come, we'll search for you and you will guide them and inspire them to stay here more. And everybody's welcome and everybody can participate in this beautiful movement which Srila Prabhupada has created for all planet, for everybody.
Correct.
To get enlightened and to become happy. Because this movement is meant to make people happy. Correct?
Yeah. And remember one thing, Lord Chaitanya's separativity, Nagaradigram, Sarvara Prachar Hoibe Moronam. It's been preached all over the universe and, not just this Earth planet. So maybe someday we're going to go beyond the confines of the Earth. We're going to preach to some extraterrestrial living entities. Sure. You're not your body. That can't function anywhere.
All right.
So I hope
I'm with you.
I hope you won't cut that from the interview.
Get the best spaceship. We are ready. The UFO, whatever it is. Let's go. Thank you once again, Bhagi. Thank you so much, Radio Mayapur. Please listen to us. It'll link to your heart. Haribo.
You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.